back to the show. We have joining us Mr. Ladan Saliu, who's chieftain of the ADC, joins us virtually today. Hey, welcome to the program. Okay, if you could unmute so we can get your response through, Mr. Saliu. It's important, so please unmute.
Okay.
Fantastic. So we can hear you now. Thank you for joining us on the program. I want to start with the statement which was released by the National Publicity Secretary of your party, the ADC, just, first in, first out arrangement. Well, he has called on President Tinubu and the administration to openly address Nigerians on the alleged coup plot currently making headlines. And he's warned that, he's warning against using the situation as a political tool to intimidate opposition figures. So I want you to speak to that. What's the rationale behind that statement? Don't you trust the military that said, well, the arrest we made was not related to the coup? Is there some sort of distrust here, Mr. Saliu? Well, Mr. Saliu, now we can't hear you. So maybe just tap the button once. Okay, we'll get the audio sorted with Mr. Saliu.
We are good to go, I believe.
We are good to go now. Please go ahead with your response.
No, I'm not so technologically savvy.
It's okay.
I tried to do some catching up. Look, my brother, the idea of even, relating our inquisition as a party to the issues that you raised in your question are not necessarily, rhetorical, but you look at it within the context of the seriousness such matters deserve in our polity. We respect, we salute, we applaud, and we are proud of our gallant soldiers. They are doing a fantastic job in keeping the nation safe and secure. And so when you talk about a military coup, rumors or discussions that will just emanate from whatever source, the nation must take it very seriously. We are talking about a situation where you have a clear and present threat to our own democratic dispensation. Any rumor of a military coup should serve as a kind of source of distress, for every democratic-minded Nigerian. The rumor of a military coup should not be taken like a gist in a beer parlor or in a lounge. No, it is a very serious matter that has far-reaching ramifications on our own democracy, on our own existential disposition to democratic norms and values and the survival of the nation. And so if it comes, one would have expected, and one did see the reaction of the defense headquarters on the issue, and that is fantastic. What we are saying is that the defense headquarters did the needful. The federal government, as a structure of governance that superintends over the affairs of the country, needs to go a step further to clarify to Nigerians the details that you and I don't know, so that our own feelings will be addressed, our fears will be addressed, and we should all go to sleep with our eyes closed. Nobody would want to see a Nigeria who, our own democracy truncated after more than 25 years of uninterrupted function. So it is a legitimate issue to raise. It is a legitimate question to ask that the federal government should go a step further and tell Nigerians who are on surveillance, what actually happened, and what steps is the government taking in conjunction and in collaboration with the military, because the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, So we need to know. Nigerians have the right to know. It's not a question of even politics. No, it's a question of our own defense and security. And if we all keep quiet, believing that, we should not ask questions, then we are not performing our own civic responsibility as citizens. So I think what Bolaji Abdullahi said, I watched his interview, as you would have expected, with your colleague yesterday. Is point on, is point blank, is what Nigerians expect. It's not even an issue of politics, it's an issue of our own collective defense and security. We all should be, and we all indeed are concerned.
From that point, let's do a bit of politics, Dr. Saliu. We're now watching the continuous, if you like, decimation of your party with the exit of 2 more governors since your own exit. So I wonder how you're watching developments in your former party. Is it with some form of justification that, okay, it's a good thing we left after all, and, we also have partyless, governors, well, 1 governor right now. We could also describe your principal, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, as partyless at this point in time. What sense should Nigerians be making of this political scenario at this time?
Thank you, Bukola. I have always, I've always raised my voice on the issue of a nation gravitating towards a one-party state. And each day, with each and every passing day, I seem to have my kind of fears and, worries validated by the kind of, the kind of issues we see with respect to defections from highbrow political juggernauts. When a governor defects from a party to a ruling party, each time such defections happen, the arms of democracy are amputated. It should be a thing of concern to all of us that you should ask to me, I would be quick to ask this question. I don't know who will answer. I'll try to see if I can probably answer it. And the question is, why should a governor like the governor of Akwa Ibom, defect to the APC from PDP? Why should the governor of Delta State defect from the PDP to the ADC? Is it a question of the center emasculating them, or is it a question of the center trying to play some kind of politics that we don't know? It's certainly not a question of funds, because Akwa Ibom, as we speak, has the highest kind of allocation from oil resources, the revenue allocation. If you look at Delta, they are also in the same frame. So you ask yourself, what is it that is so fantastic about the present establishment of the APC at the highest level of governance that is so attractive that will make these governors defect?
Oh dear. Just trying to...
Similar questions that we're asking as well at this point in time, and trying to make sense of it all. We recall that the former governor of Bayelsa had reacted to his successor's defection and asked the same question. We hope that we can get Mr. Ladan Saliu, back to continue his line of thought in that regard, as we continue to reflect on the continuing defections. And if you've watched conversations as well in the last 48 hours or so, you'd hear politicians also saying, in fact, more governors are exiting the People's Democratic Party for the APC. Well, would it be for the APC? But that looks like the likeliest destination amid, you know, the political, you know, realities at this particular point in time. Mr. Saliu, are you back now?
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Saliu is not back, but
okay.
Jeffrey, that's the reality.
I have a lot of questions for Mr. Saliu. And when we talk politics, so a couple of the time, Bukola, is to the effect that, look, I don't like pretending when it comes to talking politics. It's as real as it gets. And you can't also take away the game element in politics. So I don't get surprised when politicians make political moves. It's their stock in trade to make political moves. It's in their own best interest. They assess the situation and they decide. But I try to look at it around issues around the law, issues around sovereignty of the people, because sovereignty actually belongs to the people. Bukola, one of the things I would like to find out from Mr. Saliu, he said he doesn't know why. We know why they are defecting. The central reason why they are defecting is fear. It is just fear. There's nothing more than fear. And I will explain what I mean by fear. There is the fear that, let's talk about the internal issues in their party. A lot of the people that are leaving believe that Nyesom Wike and his lieutenants are being planted or are in the PDP as spoilers, because he's made it clear, no matter whose ox is God, just like he did in 2023, he's going to be supporting the president. But he's also giving conditions as to how the PDP should run. So it's very clear the man and his people will be working for the APC in 2027. And he has a strong lieutenant in the person of the National Secretary of the party, Sam Anyanwu. So that in itself is making the people who are governors who have lost grip of their own political party to one individual or to a set of individuals, maybe Wing Nyesom at the vanguard, to say, okay, if they decide to be in the party, for instance, now, and then somebody else signs a nomination form, that could, technicalities could happen that may make them lose their seat. So that is layer number one fear. Layer number two fear is to the effect that the allegations and the speculations that this election in 2023 may not be free and fair. The results will be written by the ruling party and all of those things. So it is centrally fear, which you can look at it broadly. So that's why I wanted to ask Bukola, I wanted to ask Mr. Akarega how founded or unfounded these fears are. That's on one hand. On the other hand, is to the fact that I'm just worried about, I also want Mr. Saliu to speak about the courage of the political class, the governors we have now. I think there's some sense of lack of courage in the PDP by the governors in the PDP. The man they are gravitating towards, which is Bola Tinubu, our president, all the odds were against him. Bola Tinubu has literally never had it easy as a politician. As governor, the odds were against him. The federal government was on his head, literally. They denied him allocation because he stood firm and stood his ground. When he tried to work with Obasanjo, before you know, the party lost all the seats in the Southwest. Bola Tinubu stayed in his party, rebuilt that party alone with other people, began to make inroad in the Southwest, and built relationships across Nigeria. He did not run away from his political party. He was the only man standing, but he stood there, and he did the best he could. And look at him today, he's the president of Nigeria. In fact, people had speculated that even the former president, God rest his soul, did not want him to be president. But he stood his ground. But just a little shaking in the PDP, these governors are running away. One man is shaking them, they're all running away.
You know, but Jeffrey, the FCT minister did push back on, in fact, through a mockery, more like last week, on his critics who say that he's the one fomenting trouble and destabilizing the party. He said specifically that they're the ones now coming or going to the APC because he's still in the PDP, by the way,
that is
and that they should commend him for working hard for them. So the question really is, if indeed he's the one, you're saying it's a political statement, but let's give the FCT minister the benefit of the doubt. But if indeed the governors are unwilling pawns in a game being played by the FCT minister and the APC, do they realize that they're unwilling pawns in this mighty chessboard of the APC and the PDP? And if indeed they realize that, you know, why are they unable to express their own will? Let's return to Dr. Saliu. Dr. Saliu, I'm sure that you've been listening in on our conversation while we try to fix that. So go ahead, Dr. Saliu.
Okay, look, let me say this. The PDP, to me, is the architect of its own misfortunes. Over the years, first of all, there are, lists of endless missteps, which the party, undertook. And it's very frustrating, even when I was a member of the party, to see a party losing the presidential election, did not find it necessary to sit down and make an in-house analysis, a SWOT analysis, to look at the areas of challenges, the constraints, the limitations, and the setbacks, and the way forward. The party did not even produce a result, if you like, an analytical results across the national political canvas to identify where manifest failures existed, and to apportion blame or to make corrections, or to produce a compact result that will give you a kind of political dashboard that will tell you, this is where we've gone wrong. This is how you need to make amends in the coming elections. And then on top of that, of course, you have the issue that you just discussed, the issue of the FCT minister and the G5 or G4 governors or whatever. To me, they existed just as an unnecessary distraction, but then the party did not take, radical steps to address the issues of discipline. Why should a one-man riot political squad, the FCT minister, be a kind of a leprous finger on the party? Why should he be seen to be going roughshod and creating problems along the line? And the bigger or the big men of the party, the chieftains, the National Working Committee, and all those that are concerned with enforcing discipline will sit by and watch such things unfold. And the more they refuse to take actions like they did, the more others, found it necessary to exit the party, because it would mean that there are things, the members and the rank and file didn't know. And not a lot of people will put up with that kind of attitude, the shenanigans, and and all the other contending issues that have caused attrition, causing destruction in the party. Now it is for the PDP now to sort this out. Coming to the issues of the ADC, I am convinced that now, looking from the outside, the ADC still remains the option for a new, Nigerian political reawakening. Look, we are not having a country together that is politically, that has cultivated the kind of political socialization that we all want to see. We want a multi-party democracy. We want a democracy that is strong and viable. We want a democracy that can deliver good governance. And we want a democracy that we can all be proud of, so that you can look at Ghana, you can look at Kenya, you can look at South Africa and beat your chest as a Nigerian that our democracy is also working. But what we have today, with the gale of defections, with the gale of, with the kind of missteps, like I said earlier, but the kind of political setbacks that we have on our democracy, you call it defections. No, I call it political setback, because those that defected recently have no reason to leave their party for the center. They are naturally endowed, they are strong, they are viable, they have access to their own share of the national revenue resource. So you ask yourself, what will be the attraction for them to say, okay, that they are leaving their party? Okay, they've left. What else? Lazy politics, politics of catch your catch as your ego can allow, and the politics of just frisbee
well, Mr.
politics.
Saliu, I mean, I have to come in now because of time, but just quickly, wouldn't you have been happy if they were coming to your party instead? I'm sure you want that. In fact, you had boasted that, don't worry, we have a lot of heavyweights coming to our party. So wouldn't you have been happy if they had come to your party instead? Just in 5 seconds.
We'll be happy if they do. We will be happy because it will be a realignment of political forces that will bring about a change that is in dire need in our country.
Right.
But when you defect to a party that is giving Nigerians, if you like, literally a setback, it's not a kind of renewed hope. No, it's a kind of renewed hopelessness in my view. So when you defect to a congregation, an amalgamation that will provide for you and Nigerians a viable political platform that will bring about the necessary change that will make the country better.
All right, we have to anchor at this point.
When you move to a ruling party that's not delivering on the issues of democracy, you are just going a step backwards.
All right, Mr. Saliu, point taken there, and we have to thank you for your time. Interesting months ahead, and we'll see how things play out, particularly with the ADC. But thank you for your time. Wish you the very best. As always, we'll be speaking with a chieftain of the ADC, formerly of the PDP, Mr. Ladan Saliu.